American journalist and Libertarian television presenter John Stossel was ahead of the DEI fight that got Trump elected. He was sending out warnings before anyone thought of the subject, almost a decade ago to be precise. NewsNation Now anchor Connell McShane sat down with Stossel for our upcoming NewsNation special, John Stossel, Give Me Liberty, Sunday, 7 p.m. Eastern, here on the network.
Any thoughts on Trump and going after the colleges, Harvard, Trump's crackdown on these colleges and universities?
Harvard wants to fight. They want to show how smart they are, and they're getting their ass kicked.
Mixed feelings. I mean, why were we giving these rich institutions so much money anyway? Supposedly it's research grants, but the private sector invents most of the good things. And I don't like it when he threatens them like, as president, I get a right to tell you what to do.
Harvard's got to behave themselves. Harvard is treating our country with great disrespect, and all they're doing is getting in deeper and deeper and deeper.
He's an arrogant bully, but I love it that he's changing the way things were.
Host of the John Stossel interviews, John Stossel himself is with us, legendary television anchor and reporter. John, have you been surprised at how quickly the pendulum, especially on DEI, has swung back?
Very. I just never thought this would happen, and then suddenly, before Trump, it was happening. People were talking about how this makes us afraid to speak in the workplace, and that's bad.
There was that concept that we heard for a long time, diversity is our strength. And somehow I think people had to agree to that without actually thinking about what it meant. Is the pendulum...
Well, I agree with it. I think
you
diversity does make us stronger.
Okay. But not diversity that is forced?
No. I'm a libertarian. Force is bad, and DEI had become about force. You must say these things before you can work here.
We have a little bit more from the special on DEI. Take a listen.
DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion. It sounds like something that you couldn't be against. Who wouldn't want to be more diverse? Why wouldn't we want more equity? We all think we want to be more inclusive. So what went wrong?
It was captured by the left, and it made people afraid to talk to people who were different from them.
It seems to be making people less likely to interact with people who are unlike them, you know, because it's like a minefield now.
Less likely to interact. Harvard Business School study found that the companies that had good DEI programs the longest hired fewer black female managers. It just poisons speech, and thank God it seems to be over.
Okay, so it's over now. Is something going to replace it?
I hope not. We ought to be able to speak freely in and out of the workplace.
Okay. I think about the title of your special, Give Me Liberty. Give me liberty or give me death, right? Patrick Henry, one of my personal heroes. My grandfather was named after him. Have we forgotten that guiding principle of America, that in our politics we've kind of forgotten what this whole thing and this whole experiment was all about?
Yes. I mean, I don't think many of your viewers like libertarians. I'm a libertarian. Whoops, there went the earpiece. It just means less government is better government. And that's what made America successful. And why that's controversial, I don't understand. Well, I'm curious if your hour on me is going to be a hit piece or something nice.
We hope it will be. 7 p.m. on Sunday night. My DVR said our viewers should be as well. I think, though, you know, you make a point about less government, right? The Constitution was the first document that ever laid out, and only document so far for a government, that laid out what government couldn't do to us, not what government must do for us, right?
Right, that was the brilliance.
But you say most of my viewers won't like that. Why is that?
Sorry, the earpiece went out again. Say it again.
Why won't my viewers like that?
I think they would, but this phrase, libertarian, people confuse it with libertine. This is a country where Democrats and Republicans have traditionally run things, and people misunderstand us. But this idea of government that governs least governs best is a good idea. And if you look at the countries where people prosper, Hong Kong before the Chinese took it over, Singapore, New Zealand, Australia, the United States, it was less government, free people that made us successful.
Now the only thing Democrats and Republicans agree on is more government. John, thank you very much. Good to see you as always.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.